Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Welcome everybody. Hope everybody is having a fantastic Monday. We are here for round 5. It is our mid-season event here at GT45 Gaming Multiclass Championship, and we got a doozy for everyone tonight. We are breaking out something different here. Normally you would see like a track like Le Mans or Nordschleife or something cool, big, crazy, hard for that mid-season event. We decided to go a different route. We're bringing out the Daytona Tri Oval. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put these LMPH cars and these GT3 cars on the Daytona Tri Oval for an hour and see who comes out on top at the end of the hour when the dust settles. It is nighttime conditions here this evening at Daytona, and this is going to be fun. We're going to see 200 plus miles per hour out of the LMPH cars, and we're going to see about 180 miles an hour out of our GT3 cars here today. And we're going to have a safety car on track here with us as well today, and that safety car should show up at right in between qualifying and race time. So it's going to be a very interesting evening tonight, and there's not a whole lot else really to talk about from there. I mean, it's a very simple racetrack, as you can see with our blue flag zones. Basically, in between all the corners is essentially our blue flag zones here today. And that's going to be a little bit tricky to navigate blue flag situations here today, especially with the LMPH going to be going so much faster to GT3s. And if everything goes I suspect it should here this evening, we should see a pack of LMPH cars and a pack of GT3 cars throughout the whole race here today. And if we get that, we are in for a doozy. So a few things to go through here. We do have a safety car that is going to come into play in case of a multi-car accident here. That safety car will come out and pile the drivers back up, line everybody back up, and we will restart the grid. And that is controlled from behind the scenes by a race control official. And we will see the beautiful safety car join into the lobby roughly after qualifying. From there, we will see a race start. It'll be a false start check like it always is every week, and it'll be an hour-long race. It is hard tires only this week, and the drivers are just going to send it. So whether or not they're even going to have to change their tires tonight is hard to say, but fuel is definitely going to factor into our race here tonight. So it is going to require a pit stop at some point in the race, or at least for some racing fuel. Tires, hard to say. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But at the end of the day, slipstream and the draft is super important here. You cannot lose the pack in your class today. If you lose the pack, you're going to lose the race unless a caution brings it back together at that point. So it's very important to try to stay in the draft and just stay patient and stay calm, because with this style of racing, really the race isn't going to be won until the final two corners anyways. So you're going to want to be in that draft to give yourself a chance to try and use slipstream to win the race at the checkered flag. And the GT3 class for the most part is pretty even, but there's going to be Medic, who is currently our last place point standing in GT3 right now. That's actually got the car to look out for here for our GT3 class today. They are going to have a hard time to keep up with that Ford GT race car here at Daytona. The LMPH, it is anybody's game. The car is the same car. They are under the equal settings. Anything can happen. So there we go. You can see what's happening behind the scenes. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, Nolander. And we have all of our racers. So that is fantastic. We are 3 minutes away from qualifying. And our Group 1s are going to go first here tonight, and then it'll be followed up by our Group 3s to finish off our qualifying run, same as it always is, 10 minutes for each class to do their qualifying. And then we will wait for our safety car driver to show up, and we will set that grid and send it off. If we do not have our actual safety car on track, we will be using a virtual safety protocol, which was, of course, discussed with our drivers pre-race here right before I went live. So in the case that we need it, I really don't think that we're going to need that safety car tonight, just for the simple fact is because we're going to have 6 LMPH and 7 LMPH and 7 GT3 cars on 6 LMPH and 7 GT3 cars on the field. Get it right, Ghost. So it's going to be smaller packs. So there should be less potential for side drafting incidents, which is typically the types of incidents we see at these tri-ovals or these oval races, is side draft contact, which meaning when you have a car beside you at full speed, when you're in a slipstream train like that, there's a side draft, there's wind that pushes on the side of the car, and that'll draw you closer together and push you further apart from each other, and sometimes that can cause the car to break loose and create what we like to call the big one. So that's why we have the safety car protocol in place here today, because we have the big one. We want to make sure we make it right on the oval track and do it like it should be done. So, all right, looks like we're almost ready for qualifying here. Don't do that. We're looking for that button. Alright, just relaying some information to the drivers there, and just some last minute stuff. And let's see if they're ready. So, I mean, how do you prepare for a race like this, right? I mean, it's, there's not a whole lot here. You're on a mandatory one-tire compound for the race. Really, it's about fuel and making the right move at the right time at the right place. Alright, fantastic. Things are working nice. The stream has been cooperating lately, so that's a good sign that we can start to stream more again. We are definitely ready here. Alright. Alright, so for this round and only this round here this season, we do have a mandatory driver's chat in place, which means all of our racers here today are in a mandatory chat for communication purposes. This style of race requires communication. Communication is very, very important. And especially because we have VR and non-VR drivers in the field here as well. So it does make it extremely important to have that communication line open between the drivers, especially under these extremely high-speed conditions that we're going to be under here today. So we're going to see the whole pack come out nose to tail here, because as soon as they heard that slip is allowed in qualifying, nobody wants to be by themselves at this point. They all want to be in the tow here. So we are just going to let the field get through basically NASCAR 1 and 2, get halfway around the racetrack here on the outlap, and then that'll reorganize our drivers in the lap timing and position they are out on the racetrack. And right off the bat, we got Dylan and JP. JP is going to use that slipstream to go ahead and try and get around Cat. Essentially, we're going to get a little bit of a pre-look at what we can kind of expect to see in the race here in qualifying, maybe. So hopefully everybody plays nice in qualifying with the slipstream in here. I mean, thankfully there's no braking zones here. These cars are going to be able to go full send around here all race long, and qualifying is anybody's game essentially at this point. So I'm trying to figure out who's up front. I think it is Jolly Rancher currently up in the front of the pack here at the moment. So I'll sit on board with Jolly Rancher here. And we're going to see quite a few laps here under the belt from these drivers here today, and situational awareness is going to be extremely important. Oh, and there it is. Got a little contact there in qualifying. Yeehaw! And I believe that was Egon that went for a ride there. JP maybe? That's right, there's plenty of time for laps here, with being a minute 41 seconds. These drivers will get about 10, 12, 13 laps around the track here, so the damage does go away. It's on light, and drivers just got to get moving again. So that was fun. And that is why we have the safety car in play here tonight, because it's as simple as that. The car just went a little bit up the track, just made a little bit of contact with the rear wheel of the LMP car up on the high side of them there, and then that's all it took to spin that car around. And at 215 miles per hour, which is what we're seeing these cars at here right now, very easy to break that traction free. So this is not as easy as people think it is. Sure, we only got to turn left here in this race. Absolutely, we only got to turn left here in this race, but Egon was waiting for the pack there to try and get back into the tow, I think. But this is a lot harder than it looks. Not getting into the back end of your competitor too hard, not giving too aggressive a push to break him free. You give him too hard of a push, it could also give you damage, or it doesn't give you a good enough slip, and it could allow the pair behind you to have if they got a better nose to tail pairing, to get a better run on you. There's a lot of things that can go on here in this race here today, so it's going to be a lot of timely decisions and timely moves, timely passes, timely bumps. It's not as easy as it looks. It's not as easy as it looks. These drivers are going to be sweating. The arms are going to be very, very sore by the end of this race. The banking is very aggressive here at Daytona, and you guys got no game on it, do you? Oh, you do. Okay. Whew. All right, so JP currently is in pole with Dylan in second place. JSet is right there in third position behind. We got TDC Gaming in fourth place. We got Jolly Rancher here in fifth, and Egon just hasn't gotten a slotted lap in here yet. So he really needs to get a proper lap in here before the end of the clock. So. He's just trying to get to the pack so we can get into the draft so we can try and maximize his time, but yeah, woo, things are getting dicey. Woo, this is the spiciest qualifying run so far this season. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. This is not going to be an easy race. This is going to be a very difficult race. And maybe the safety car is going to be needed tonight. This is kind of what I expect to see more of, I think, is just slipstream gets past Unslot in front, and then I think we're going to see a lot of leapfrogging, I guess, so to speak. Alright, so now it's Jay currently sitting in pole position with JP sitting in second. We got Dylan sitting in third. We got TDC Gaming in fourth. And we got Jolly Rancher in fifth. We got Egon now up into sixth place. There has slotted in a proper lap, and it's only 4 tenths off of fifth place Jolly Rancher there. So even without the draft, the time is still fairly quick there. But you can see how much of a difference that draft really does make. 3 seconds separating the back half of LMPs to the front half of the LMPs here. So. And these are our 3 current top 3 in the LMPH individual standings right now here, JP, Dylan, and JSet as well. So kind of fitting that we got them all right here, nose to tail, in qualifying. That is not easy to do. It's very difficult to do. You can see that the cars are jostling all over the place. As soon as one car in front of you moves just a little bit, it throws the air different on the front end of the car in behind, and that changes their trajectory a little bit as well. So this is a lot more difficult than, like I said, than it looks. We got Egon, and it looks like TDC here as well, linked up nose to tail here now, and we've got Jolly Rancher here, who is just about on the back end of those 2 there, pretty close there. It is still JSet in pole position here. We do have JP still in second. Dylan's down into third now. We have TDC Gaming half a second in behind fourth place. We got Egon here in fifth, just 2 tenths in behind. And Jolly Rancher has caught up to the back of those 2 here now. So it is Jolly Rancher here in behind. So we have 2 3-car packs essentially now in qualifying here as we go. And Dylan has put himself in front of this pack now. So he is going to receive the push from Jay and JP. And let's see if that helps him find the pole position here now. So he's kind of been the guy that's been pushing here so far in qualifying. He's decided he wants to be the car out in front here now. And at that time around, nothing changes in the top 3. Let's see what happens here in the bottom 3. And nothing changes here in the bottom 3 either. 4th, 5th, and 6th stay the same. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd stay the same here. And we have about 2.5 minutes remaining. So we're still going to see a good 4 or 5 laps here from our LMPH cars. And it is double points on the line here tonight for the laps completed. The bonus points remain at 1 times, but our laps completed are going to be double points here tonight as well. So if you're chasing right now in the standings, this is an opportunity here to potentially get back into that fight with the driver up in front or drivers up in front. And with this style of race, it is anybody's race to win. Anybody can win this race tonight. It is nothing to do with sheer pace, has nothing to do with the ability to drive your car at this point. It is how do you handle the oval and when you time the move on the final lap. That is what's going to matter here tonight at Daytona Tri Oval in the GT45 Gaming Multiclass Championship, presented by Ten Tenths Simracing. Whew, it's been a spicy qualifying already. I feel like we've been at this for half an hour already, and these guys are just getting warmed up. So it's still Jay in first, it's JP in second, and Dylan here in third. We do not see any changes here in behind either. It's TDC Gaming in fourth, it's Egon in fifth, and it is Jolly Rancher still sitting in sixth position here. And they're going to get around one more time here. Maybe two. We're seeing almost 220 miles per hour out of these LMPH drivers here today, so this is going to get very interesting, and it's going to get even more interesting when the LMPH close in on GT3 cars. There's going to be about a 30-mile-per-hour difference between the two groups of cars when they close in on each other here, and that is where things are going to get very dicey. So hyper awareness is going to need to be exercised here tonight for all these drivers, because they're in tough. This could potentially end up being the toughest race of the season, believe it or not. It looks so simple, but simple it is not. Alright, so we do need to get ready to send out our GT3s here. Egon, that means you. CP, that means you too. Everybody's gone. Alright. So, now we send our GT3s out here, and this is the second half of our qualifying. This is the second half of our multi-class here. So we do have the LMPH, the Toyota GR010 here in Gran Turismo 7. It is an extremely fast hypercar, and it is the newest technology we have currently for that particular class in the game. And then we have our typical GT3 class. This is what everybody kind of likes to run here in Gran Turismo 7. This is kind of the bread and butter of racing, and we have a little bit of variation of GT3 cars here on the track tonight, but for the most part it's a lot of Lexus on the racetrack here tonight. So we should see a pretty even race. There is a Supra, there's a Ford GT race car, and there is a Mercedes, so that is going to shake things up a little bit. And GT3 drivers, some are opting to use slip, and some are opting to just kind of go out on their own and do their own thing here. And it looks like Ishmael is just timing when to leave pit lane there, so. Alright, so Miss Devious is out on her own here right now with no slipstream, so it'd be interesting to see how the times are going to compare as they come around. So we have officially crossed that start-finish line, and we're halfway around the racetrack here already for our out laps. And, you know, the times, the 41.1 there for Jay. The GT3 car should be 54, 55 seconds here, I think, around the racetrack as well. So we're definitely going to see 60 plus laps from both of our divisions here today. And it is going to be Miss Devious currently in pole position, but now the slipstream is going to start to take effect here. It's going to be Streeter Tom in pole position. It's going to be Sheriff Doofy in second place. It's going to be Medic in third position. He's solo, by the way. No slip there. Ride Lightspeed here in 10th position. We've got Fast Ginger here in 11th. And we've got Miss Devious now in 12th position. So it is currently Streeter Tom now sitting in pole position here, and they are using that bump drafting technique here in qualifying. And again, for this type of racing, this is fully expected here in qualifying when you send the whole class out at the same time. I'm okay with it. I think it makes it more interesting, gives the drivers a little bit of free practice as well in the situation, pre-race time as well. So we had one incident there in the LMPHs in qualifying, and that was again just a little bit of side drafting issue there. And what do we got here? It's now going to be Sheriff Doofy jumping up into pole position the second time around here. Streeter Tom is going to move down into second place in GT3, and Medic is going to remain in third. Well, Ishmael is down into fourth place here in GT3. We got Fast Ginger in fifth, Ride Lightspeed in sixth, and Miss Devious in seventh here in GT3. And she probably very quickly realizes how important that draft is here in qualifying. But at the end of the day, does it really matter when you're packed up and you're at a standstill start at the beginning of the race, you're going to be all packed up anyways. And as long as you don't lose the pack at race start there, I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, and it's going to become a pack race here. So it should be very interesting to see how all this shapes up. And it is going to be Streeter Tom to jump back up into pole position here ahead of compatriot Sheriff here as he's working together with Sheriff. They are separated by 0.062 seconds right now, so 600ths of a second. And the kind of flying solo is this Ford GT race car. I said, gotta watch out for this race car here today, because this car is just going to be very fast here. And he's only 0.6 of a second all on his own here without any slipstream right now. Currently in the GT3 class, we've got Ismail and Ride Light here in 10th and 11th, and that's right, Ride Light did swap to the Lexus after the update there, and probably wishing he had that Toyota Supra maybe here at Daytona. But Fast Ginger is currently sitting in 6th position here with Mischievous in 7th place, and we got the 3-car train all coming through here, Medic in tow. Let's see if any of them can find an improvement here. They all find a little bit of an improvement there, so let's go see how we're shaping up. It is still Streeter Tom here in pole position with Sheriff in 2nd place. They are side by side there. Medic is still holding down P3 here, but he is much closer now, only 0.3 of a second in behind, and you can see there he has got a good run on the Mercedes and the Lexus there, but he doesn't quite have enough to get by him there, so I'm not sure if that's helping or hurting him here right now. But there's multiple lines around the Daytona Tri Oval too as well. There's I would say solid 3 lines around this racetrack for this for these styles of cars, as long as the driver can hold the line. That is the most difficult part here. So now you got Miss Devious up on the high line. She's going to settle right back down in behind. Tried to settle back in behind that Ford GT there, and he decided to pull up the racetrack and get out of the slip. So a little slingshot engaged here, and this is interesting. This is very interesting to see how this is playing out. It is still Streeter Tom in pole position, and Sheriff is still right there in tow, just in behind. Medic is still holding down 3rd place there. Mischievous is 0.3 of a second in behind, with Fast and Ginger just in behind her. And the funny thing is they're all working together. That was a very big bump there, and a little bit of a bump there from Medic is going to help close her back up to Fast Ginger there. But again, that's the timing of that bump. That's what I was talking about earlier in the broadcast. That big bump is actually not going to help the driver in behind, because you've seen how much of a push that Fast Ginger got, and then essentially Miss Devious didn't get the resulting pull back into for the big push there. If it wasn't for Medic giving the push back in, she may have potentially even lost maybe the back end of that Mercedes. And now things are getting interesting here as all the drivers come through at the same time here in this Fast Ginger. It looks like now it's Fast Ginger in 4th place. Is Streeter Tom in pole position. And now we have all 5. We have 5 of our 7 GT3 cars currently all clustered up here in qualifying, and this should get interesting. A little bit of pre-race practice, a little bit of pre-race show we're getting here, and it is 0.37 for Miss Devious in behind Streeter Tom here currently right now for pole position, and every one of these drivers is trying to figure out right now, how am I going to get ahead of that time? It is just a sliver. It is just a sliver of time at this point. The perfect draft, the perfect push, a perfect slingshot. What's it going to take to get that pole position here? Streeter Tom does improve a little bit, and it does grow his gap. Miss Devious also improves in behind him. It's still less than 1/10 of a second separating 1st and 2nd, and basically 3rd place. Sheriff is 0.017 in behind Miss Devious. Fast Finger's 0.023 in behind Sheriff at this point. Medic is 1/10 in behind Fast Ginger, and then we've got Ishmael and Ride Lightspeed separated by only 1,000th of a second there, and Ishmael coming into pit lane there, losing the drive of these cars. So again, qualifying, the only real reason why qualifying is of utter importance here today is for that, obviously that pole position point is pretty crucial for the bonus point in the standings. Other than that, I mean, this race is a race of attrition. It's going to be an hour of not making a mistake, just staying in the draft, staying calm, staying patient, and making smart decisions. And this race comes down to the last 30 seconds. Essentially, when it comes to tri oval racing here. So again, qualifying is kind of irrelevant. The key is going to be not losing the pack come race time. Oof, big push there from Tom on Miss Devious there. Was that enough for Miss Devious to leap ahead there? But Fast Ginger now is our current pole sitter here, and it is a 49.224, so we're about 8 seconds slower here than the LMPHs here around the racetrack. And Fast Ginger now is the lucky recipient of all of that bump drafting going on here between these 5 drivers. And as they come back around here again, let's see if anything changes. Oh, it's going to be Miss Devious now to jump into pole position here by 0.078 over Streeter Tom, currently sitting in second. Now we have Fast Ginger, 9/1000th of a second in behind Streeter Tom. Medic is still a 10th in behind in 4th place there, with Sheriff Doofy 2/10ths in behind him. You can see the big push there coming. Ismail comes out right into the pack. That was some great timing right there by Ismail. Oh, and a 1 second penalty there for Medic, and that is going to crush any opportunity at an improved lap here and pull him right out of the pack. So highly unfortunate there for a Medic, and potentially maybe Ismail as well, because he may not be close enough to grab the slip of this main pack up in front ahead of Medic here. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out as we come back across the start finish line. Do we see any changes? We do see an improvement from Sheriff there, but it does not put him up into the top 3. So he is still holding down the pole position here currently over Streeter Tom and Fast Ginger, and the rest of that very close field in behind. Sheriff is only 1/10 in behind. We got Medic there 0-3-0, and Ismail is just going to say, yeah, you know what, that didn't quite work out in my favor there either. So we're just going to say, let's see what the race has. Alright, so next time that these drivers come around, we will see the checkered flag here on qualifying. So this is the last chance for romance here for these 4 drivers to try and get that pole position. Can Miss Devious defend it? Can Streeter Tom get it away? Can Fast Ginger come in from behind and steal it? Can Sheriff grab enough slip and pull it from the back here? We're going to have to wait and see. Tom goes out for the slipstream engage, but he does not get enough time, and it looks like it is going to be 10 tenths Miss Devious to take pole here tonight, with Streeter Tom in 2nd place. It's going to be Fast Ginger here in 3rd position. It's going to be Sheriff in 4th place. Medic will start in 5th position here, with Ismail in 6th, and Ride Lightspeed in 7th place here in our field today. So I'm just going to check on our safety car here. Do we have some? Nope. I thought we had guys still flying here, but we do not. All right, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was an interesting qualifying session, to say the least. So it's going to be J-Set in pole position here for LMPH, with JP in 2nd and Dylan in 3rd, TDC Gaming in 4th place, Egon in 5th, and Jolly Rancher in 6th position. In our GT3s, it's going to be Miss Devious in pole position, with Streeter Tom in 2nd place. It's going to be 10 tenths Fast Ginger in 3rd position, with 10 tenths Sheriff Doofy in 4th position. It's going to be Medic in 5th place. It's going to be Ismail, our current GT3 championship points leader right now, in 6th position, and Ride the Lightspeed here in 7th position. So the BMW is definitely not necessarily the strongest car here for Daytona, but with the ability to have slipstream and draft, hopefully that BMW still has a little bit of fight here in round number 5, because this is an important round for our point leader here, Ismail. All right. So, just had to throw a little bit of information up for the drivers, just so they're aware of what's going on, so that way they know to be paying attention to that game chat when the time comes to start racing. I will signify from here if there is a caution needed. Obviously, I'll say it on the stream, but they might not be watching the stream, so we will use our in-game chat to signify that. And then, of course, the rule and procedure on that is our LMPH leader, or the overall race leader, which will be an LMPH car at this point in time, will slow the pack down to 80 miles per hour and will remain at 80 miles per hour until I give him the 1 lap to go signal, and then the next time around they will be good to restart. And at the normal restart zone here at Daytona, the track makes things pretty easy to race on, as a matter of fact here. So let's hope this one goes really well, because it should be a doozy. Will be a 1 hour endurance race. The mandatory tire is the only tire that the drivers can use tonight. Weather will not factor into our race here today, as there is no weather model for Daytona. And we have a virtual safety car here in play tonight as well. So hopefully all the drivers have gotten the memo at this point, and hopefully we don't need it. I have faith that we're not going to need it. We got some good racers here in the GT45 gaming community that come and compete in the championships throughout our seasons and our racing seasons, and throughout the years of our broadcasting career so far. They never cease to amaze me. When we think we're going to have an issue on a specific racetrack just because of the nature of the racetrack, or the turn one, or the race itself, the drivers always seem to make it happen. So I have faith that the drivers will make it happen here tonight as well. We have seen that side draft come into play, though, so, and net coding is also going to be a slight issue here as well. If a driver is lagging a little bit, that could create some complications on the racetrack here. And caution flags are going to do two things here tonight. A, they're going to group the pack back up, so if somebody's lost that draft, that's going to be a big bonus for them if a caution gets called, because it gets them put right back into the pack. But B, it's also going to affect the overall lap count when points per lap count. And in a double points round, these drivers are going to want every point they can get here tonight. We're going to see 70 to 75 laps from these LMPH cars. We're going to see 60 to 65 laps from our GT3 cars, which means we're going to see quite a few navigations of the two classes of cars around each other here today, and the speed difference is massively significant. We're talking 25 to 30 miles per hour difference between the two different cars here on the racetrack in full slipstream condition. We're seeing 220 miles per hour out of our Toyota GR10 hypercars, and we're seeing 180 miles per hour out of our GT3 cars. So that is a pretty significant difference in speed, which means the LMPH cars are going to see a spec, a car, and a spec in the blink of an eye here today. So the driver's going to have to be aware today. This is not going to be an easy race. Of course, tires are going to, at some point, play a factor into how the cars are holding on the oval. And, of course, fuel will factor in for when our drivers are going to have to make their pit stops here today. So anything could happen. Are we going to see a one-stop strategy? Most likely. Are we going to see a no-stop? I don't think it's possible. Two-stop strategy? Quite potentially is what we're going to see here today. It all comes down to how much racing fuel these cars are using. They are running full tilt non-stop the whole time, so they are just going to be guzzling gasoline here tonight. All right, the drivers seem pretty ready. The viewers seem pretty ready. I know I'm ready. The stream's looking pretty ready. I think it's time to go racing. We'll give them all that half a second to take that big deep breath, because it's about to be on like Donkey Kong oval style here tonight at GT45 Gaming. So I hope everybody enjoys this one. This is definitely by far the one I'm looking forward to the most on the race schedule here tonight. So, or all season as far as that goes, is this one right here. I'm a big fan of the oval. Big fan of the oval. All right, kick them tires, light them fires. We're going oval track racing today. Oh yeah. Alright, let's get some intel up. It is a false start with a grid start check here, so we'll see 5 red lights, and then our flag official will drop that green flag when they are good and ready to go here. So we are waiting for those lights to just drop. We're red, green, 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 and GT3s typically get a much better start. Oh, and we got a red flag here, I think. Yeah. We got a grid issue here. Yeah, I saw it. Alright, so that was potentially a lobby glitch there. Race start glitch. So we are going to have to do a lobby reset. We got to go like this. Right. Do this again. We gotta go like this, that. That's good. Put set by host. Alright. I'm gonna flip screens here for a minute, chat. Because, you know, that's what we do. I want you to take a look at what the drivers are up against here while I reset the grid. Alright, so that was fun. Let's try this again, shall we? Let's do this. Ginger Sheriff Medic. Who's not checked in? Somebody not checked in? Alright. For some reason, Fast Gingers wouldn't show up. There we go. Not sure why. Fast Ginger Sheriff Medic. Alright. Just had to get that grid all beautifully reset here. And hopefully, the issue is that the GT3s get just slightly better launch than the LMPH cars, and in the situation of these racing hard tires, I think that's exactly what we saw there. A couple of the GT3 cars had to check up just slightly, and that caused a little bit of confusion in the back half of the GT3 field. There's a little bit of contact, and we have to set it up again. That's just the way it goes. So we do it all over again. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go track racing. Oval track racing. Okay. Hopefully we don't have any cars going spinny this time. Everybody's just kind of taking it easy here. Oh. Okay. Woo, we're having a rough one here. Alright, we're going to put this to a rolling start. Alright, we're going to put it to a rolling start. This is the last red flag, so we're just going to give the drivers the best chance that we can. Yep, that's the one. Don't check in. Hold on. All right, we're going to avoid this here. We're going to use a rolling start this time. Again, it's just a difference in the launch speeds between the two classes of cars. It's something that I should have thought about pre-race. Need everybody to check in. It's on a rolling start. Check in, please. Thank you. Oh, I'm waiting for Sheriff. Okay, I think we got everybody. Let's do this one more time. JP Dylan. Oh, hey, it saved the order. All right. Here we go again. All right, this one will not be a red flag. This is going to be a rolling start, so the cars will start at a distance behind each other and rolling. So it'll work fine. This Daytona, they'll get back together in a slip here. Adaptive change. Sometimes we got to make these calls on the fly. All right, let's get to some racing, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? We appreciate everybody hanging out. It happens. I mean, it happens. It's a tough deal here to have two different classes of cars on the track at the same time, especially such different classes of cars. We usually see Group 3s or Group 4s, or Group 2s or Group 3s, not Group 1s and Group 3s. So we'll get a much cleaner start here this time. And we'll have a separate start in a sense too, because obviously the LMPs are quite a bit faster than our GT3 cars. Everybody's rolling. All right, now we're on it. So let's go. We're going to have to keep our eye on those arrows. We're going to have to be very on it here tonight. So it is J-Set in the lead with JP still in second place. We got Dylan in third. We got TDC in fourth. We got Egon in fifth. And we got Jolly Rancher in sixth. So let's see how long it takes before we see separation of these guys. It's going to take small mistakes to happen for that separation to start. But the LMPH especially has some quirkiness to it. And if you know how to drive it really well, then you can really use that quirkiness to your advantage. So all of our GT3s here are nice and tight together here, and Ms. Devious is still leading the charge here as we come around to start lap number 2. And these are going to happen very, very quick here today. So this is going to be very interesting to see here. We don't have any major cars spun around here, and everybody's looking good here. So a little bit of caution is being exercised here early on. These tires are still cold, which means they need to heat these tires up a little bit as well, so they're still not full maximum grip level yet. And we've got two little packs of LMPH cars here separated by about, I think, a second. Not even, only half a second. So it's still in that tow. Now, we didn't make any adjustments. It's still the same season settings as been all season long. We've had our slipstream on week all season long. We feel that's a more realistic slipstream setting, so we've been using it all season. It's also provided us with some really great racing. The sparks we're seeing are because these LMPH cars are so low to the ground that the banking, they're actually dragging on the banking. So that's the sparks we're seeing there. That's not these guys. Well, that's JP maybe tapping the wall a little bit there. Just got it sent up a little bit up on the high side of the racetrack. And oh, there we go. There's one. Oh. Let's go take another look at that here. What do we got here? Oh, that looked like a lag spike. That is not a multiple car incident there, but potentially an incident report there for Dylan there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that there. But this race is going to continue going here without a caution flag for the time being. So again, it's a multiple car incident here that the cautions are being used for here today. So again, this is going to be very difficult here. The stewards are going to have a tough job here too as well, because slipstreaming, drafting racing is a different kind of racing than what we're used to. So we've really taken the racers kind of out of the realm of normalcy and thrown them into a little bit of not sure what to expectness. Ooh, there we go. A little bit of contact there between Medic and Ishmael. I'm not sure if Medic knew Ishmael was there. It just looked like Medic went to go up the track there and he just got up the side of the BMW there. Thankfully for Ishmael, he reacted very well. Counter steered against that contact there and was able to stay in the pack here. And we're going to see a caution, I think, before this race is through here, without a question of a doubt here. So we've also seen an issue here from TDC as well, so I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe something between these three up here, but let's see what's going on here. There could be some lag at play here. And already we're closing in on the GT3 cars, so this is where things get a little bit interesting here. This is lap 7 already, and we've got the LMPH having to go really high up the racetrack here while the GT3 cars are trying to give the space here as well. This is where things are going to get very interesting. Alright, so I did not see what caused JP and TDC to fall off the pack here. There obviously was an incident between the two of them there. But Dylan has closed up on TDC here, so this is good. So he's got a drafting partner here now at this point. It's Fast Ginger in the lead here for the GT3s right now. We are still all tight together here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think one fell off the pack here. We did. We lost Streeter Tom. Oh, Streeter Tom here is just a little in behind the pack here. So, okay. Not sure what happened there, but I'm doing my best to try and keep an eye on everything on the racetrack. This is very difficult here, so we are doing the best we can here. And the GT3 cars are very tight together here still. Mischievous is leading. Sheriff is in second place currently with right light speed there. Looking to get something done there as well. In third place with Ismail in fourth, and Medic in fifth. Fast Ginger and Streeter Tom just trailing in behind here a little bit. So Streeter Tom, I guess the big question is he closing in here? 3.7 seconds outside of that draft, so not good for a couple of our drivers here very early on. Now again, we do have stewards, we do have incident reporting within these races, so if a driver had contact and was spun out, they are more than welcome to, of course, file an incident report if they feel that there is one there. Net coating or not, whether there's lag or not, it is still looked at and assessed in the full weight of what we see. And there's 21 seconds between the front 4 now and the back 2 LMPH cars, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they navigate this a little bit here. We got a little bit of net coating coming from Sheriff here as well too, and that's going to be a little bit tricky for our GT3 cars and class to sort out here. But I did tell the driver that there could be obviously a little bit of side-to-side lag here, and obviously we do need to try and allow a little bit of extra room in those side-by-side situations here today. Medic is sitting there currently in, I believe, 5th place still. Just sitting in behind this pack of 3 cars here that are kind of just pushing each other right now. They're not really seeming to gain too much here. We got Dylan and TDC here just navigating around Fast Ginger. Fast Ginger's very quickly losing that pack, and so is Streeter Thompson slipstream again. Super important, and a little bit of contact and just a slide is really all it's going to take here to even lose that slipstream at this point. So currently it's JSet, Egon, and Jolly Rancher in first, second, and third. JP is 4.8 seconds behind and has lost that slip. JP is 19 seconds to the good over TDC and Dylan, who are starting to close in here. So again, you can't panic. It's very early in the race. There's still 52 minutes left in this race, and as these drivers hook up and link together like this, they're going to close in on JP, and then those 3 drivers can work on trying to close that front pack back up again. And it's just that kind of that continuation here. So if you do lose your buddy, you kind of got to hope that you can pick up another buddy somewhere along the way here. And 3.8 seconds in behind is Fast Junior, and Streeter Thompson about 9 seconds in behind there as well. So again, did not see what happened in the GT3 class there, but obviously a little bit of a touch there between our 2nd and 3rd place LMPH cars there, and that was almost a caution that we caught there as well. So Alright, so Dylan and TDC here, they're doing their thing, and they are all definitely most certainly working it here. I mean, they're closing the gap up on JP fairly quickly here, actually. I mean, they've already peeled a 1.5 seconds off, just working together there as well. So I don't think that this race is over by any stretch of the imagination here. I'm trying to really keep my eye on the right track radar while we're watching this race. I'm kind of trying to watch 2 things at once in a sense here. Because there's a lot that can happen and go on in this race here. Unfortunately for Fast Junior and Tom here, they've lost that pack a little bit, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But here we go, the LMPH are catching up to our GT3s here again, and whoosh, got a little bit tight right there, Ooh, a little bit of contact, everybody makes it through. And everybody's got a code brown going on here, but somehow, some way, they managed to make that work. He got very tight very quickly there on the high side of the racetrack. There is GT3 cars that are kind of just battling it out for position there. 7.2 seconds in behind JP. I mean, look how quickly Dylan and Kat are closing in on JP here. So within another half a dozen laps, we're going to see that within striking distance here, I think, potentially. And the championship points leader here in our LMPH currently using all the tricks in his bag here right now to get back into the fight. So we're definitely going to be seeing pit stops here. We're not even 10 minutes in, and we're already seeing half a tank of fuel gone. So that tells me we're going to be seeing probably 2 pit stops here today from a lot of these cars. And Medic here is still sitting in 5th place here, I believe, and currently sitting in 3rd place here in the GT3s. And potentially some more contact here between the GT3 cars as we were navigating underneath that LMPH traffic. Ishmael's moved up into 4th place here. Miss Devious has dropped back just slightly in 11th position here. Fast Ginger is still in 12th, and we're starting to see the separation a little bit here in the GT3 cars now, so that's interesting. We got JSet, Jolly Rancher, and Egon here still in our top 3, battling it out currently. But again, like I said, we are going to be seeing pit stops here, and what these drivers opt to do with those pit stops is going to also potentially make a difference here. Now, the big important thing here is just staying on the lead lap mainly, because it's a lap per point. So obviously bonus positions for positions finish, but I suspect that the steering staff is going to be a little bit busy this weekend. That's all it takes is a small amount of contact to break a driver free. So we got currently Ride Lightspeed now leading the charge here in GT3 with Medic in second place. We've got Sheriff Doofy currently holding down that final podium position here in the GT3 class, and the rest of the GT3 cars are starting to close back in on each other here a little bit as well. So Ishmael and Misdevious are nose to tail here. They are starting to push back on the field. Let's see if they can close in on them here in 4th and 5th place. We got Fast Ginger and Tom here. Tom is starting to close back in on Fast Ginger a little bit here, so may very well be able to link up and start pushing there as well, but it's going to come down to hitting at the same time as the guys that you're working with here now at this point. And long ways to go before this one unfolds yet. So you can see we have tire wear kicking in pretty heavily here on our LMPH drivers as well. Some cars are using the high side of the track, some cars are not using the low side of the track. JP is starting to close back in on that pack a little bit here, 10.2 seconds in behind. We've got TDC and Dylan here, 12.4 seconds in behind. So I mean, it's working. The pushing here between Dylan and TDC here is most certainly working, as they have closed up about 8 seconds of that gap here over the last 6 laps. It's pretty good. Alright, so Ride Lightspeed here currently leading the GT3 class. We have Medic here in 8th position. We've got Ten Tenths Sheriff Doofy here in 3rd position for the GT3 class. And Medic now trying to get a pass done for the race lead, and he is going to get that Ford GT race car around Ride Lightspeed there and move up into the overall GT3 race lead here. So Medic now leading the charge here with Ride Lightspeed in 2nd and Sheriff in 3rd. All 3 drivers still in tow here. We got some LMPs navigating by Ismail and Misdevious here, and they are starting to close in a little bit here on that pack in front as well. You can see that time is slowly but surely starting to come down. A little bit of extra draft maybe from the LMPs on the way by, helping that cause out a little bit here as well. Fast Ginger is about 11 seconds in behind. Streeter Tom here is doing everything he can to close in on that Mercedes. Ugh, you hate to be in no man's land at this point in the race. And I mean, we could call it competition, you know. We're going to choose to, I suppose. We made us we still have some time to decide that yet. Alright, so TDC and Dylan now have that cut down to under 9 seconds here to JP in 4th place here for LMPH currently. So again, I suspect that the battle in LMPH is far from over here yet. We've got Medic, Ride Lightspeed, and Sheriff Doofy here battling it out for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Sheriff has lost the tow of 1st and 2nd place a little bit here, though, and has kind of found himself now in no man's land. Not sure if he's made a mistake, if he had a little slide. We got JP and Misdevious coming, or sorry, Ismail and Misdevious, pardon me, coming into pit lane. JP's partner there. Let's see what Fast Ginger does here as he comes around. Is he going to continue around? I mean, he most certainly can for a bit yet. We got Streeter Tom here as well, who's going to try and use a little bit of a racing strategy here, I think, to his advantage as well. So currently it is J-Set and Egon heading into pit lane. Jolly Rancher heading into pit lane. We got JP here now in 4th place. What is he going to do? I think he's probably going to have no choice here either. He's going to have to come into pit lane. Dylan has already opted to come into pit lane here, 1 lap ahead of everybody. So a little undercut strategy coming from Dylan there. And TDC now has come out of pit lane. So Dylan comes out, and the gap was about 18 seconds to the race leaders at this point. So the bigger question is, was it worth giving away his slipstream partner to try and gain some time on an undercut strategy? We'll have to wait and see, but Egon comes out in the overall race lead out of pit lane. We've got Jay here in second place. He's got a 3-second penalty, and I believe that's due to pit entry. That penalty there. We got Jolly Rancher here in third place, and I think he purposely laid up in behind, or also had a 3-second penalty himself, perhaps. Jay said there to have a slipstream partner, perhaps. We got JP's now only 6.8 seconds in behind. We got TDC Gaming 7.8 seconds in behind. And Dylan actually came right back out in behind TDC Gaming, essentially, after that pit stop. And I would assume that he's just going to continue what he was doing before the pit stop there. So that's interesting. The undercut didn't really gain him or lose him anything. It just kind of kept him right par for course. Fast Ginger now coming into pit lane. We got Ride Light Speed here. What's he going to do? Looks like he is going to stay out and take the race lead. Medic who pit a lap ago. Where's Tom? Tom's going to come around here. Should jump Fast Ginger here now, I think, as he comes around here. And that's going to give him just ahead of Ishmael in 12th position as well. Now that might work out good for those two here if they can link up, get a little bit of slipstreaming going. And where does Fast Ginger come out in amongst all of this here? I guess is the bigger question. He comes out just in behind one of our LMPH cars. I'm not sure which one that was, but Egon is 7 seconds up the road here. Here currently at Daytona. We've got Jay Set, who's in second place. He's got Jolly Rancher tucked right in behind here. 0.063 seconds as they navigate around the Mercedes of Fast Ginger GT3 class. JP is 5.7 seconds in behind those two and trying to close the gap, but again, without that slipstream partner, he is losing touch with those two up in front. So Dylan is making an argument for a comeback drive here, I think, at Daytona right now. The way things are looking, he has fully understands what needs to be done in order to even get back into a position to fight, and has been executing it very, very well with TDC Gaming. This is only going to benefit TDC Gaming as well to close him back up on the pack here as well. So these two are doing a great job right now in 5th and 6th place, working together to try and close back up on the back end of JP. So Medic has, Ride Light Speed is in the overall GT3 lead here, currently at 1.7 seconds over Medic, who has about 3.3 seconds over Miss Devious, because Devious has a push partner here currently right now with Sheriff Doofy just in behind. So we would suspect that we're going to start to see them close up on Medic at some point here throughout this stint. We've got Streeter Tom and Ismail here in 5th and 6th place in the GT3 class here as well, linked up, and they got about 7 seconds to 10 tenths as Devious and Sheriff Doofy. So, and then we got Fast Ginger there, who is 13 seconds in behind. So we were talking about that pitting with the driver you're working together is definitely going to be important here, but losing that block was the most important thing. Again, we didn't see what caused Fast Ginger to lose the draft. We didn't see what caused Tom to lose the draft. We didn't see what caused Devious or Ishmael to lose the draft. I'm assuming it's just small amounts of contact, causing cars to slide, and of course those cars losing position due to that slide, losing momentum on the racetrack. That's probably what's been happening, and mainly what I expected would happen here tonight. But we do have Jolly Rancher and J-Set here, nose to tail, essentially trying to close down on Egon here. Now the gap was noted a little over 7 seconds last time we checked out on what was going on here in the LMPH division, and that gap is now down to just about under 5. So J-Set and Jolly Rancher doing a pretty good job of trying to close back in that top spot here in the grid. JP is 7.7 seconds in behind them, starting to lose touch with those, obviously, two working in slipstream, and he's starting to fall into the mercy of TDC Gaming and Dylan here. So I guess here's the bigger question now. TDC and Dylan can catch up to JP? Do they link up and make a 3-car train here and continue to push the front edge of the pack? That is the big question here, as the point is coming. JP is just entering NASCAR 4 here coming out, so we do have Dylan and TDC right there and closing very, very quickly. You see they're just ticking away hundreds of seconds every time that the wheels turn on this race car here right now. And so by the end of this racing lap, they should be on JP. Sorry, you see the drop on the lobby here. Just trying to figure out which one it was. So the big question being answered was what happens when TDC Gaming and Dylan catch up to JP, and what I kind of expected to happen was starting to see a 3-car train here, but Dylan is just slightly off the backside of TDC here. And Dylan is definitely not going to want to lose track of this group after all that work he did to push TDC Gaming up to JP. So we now have 4th, 5th, and 6th place LMPH cars all nose to tail here, and that should start allowing them to close up the gap to Jolly Rancher and Jason up in 3rd and 2nd position here. So that gap is now 8.2 seconds and definitely dropping here at this point. So things are getting spicy. Yeah, I seen that, Tom. I see, brother. A power surge. Probably came from your internet box. I know I seen you drop the lobby there. I was right about where you were going to make your pit stop too, it looked like. So Egon now at mercy here. He's 1.2 seconds just ahead of Jolly Rancher and Jason here. Since that pit stop closed up to gap, Egon got a good jump on pit stop. He got a good 7-second gap over the rest of the LMPH field, but now we've got these three here all linked up with Tail, Dylan, TDC, and JP, and the mission is close up that 8-second gap with Jason and Jolly Rancher. But now with that front pack being a 3-way pack here again, it is quite potential that is going to make it that much more difficult now for 4th, 5th, to 6th place to close back up onto the pack here. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. You were coming out of the pits when it happened. Oh, rip. Well, at least you still, with the point system, I mean, at least you scored good points still. You were like 32 or 33 laps in or something like that. So, you had pretty good points while still at least. Alright, so we got two battles happening here in LMPH. We're fairly close together. Lightspeed just getting navigated around from the second pack of LMPH cars here. All good, Ginger. All good, Ginger. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see what happened there that caused you guys to lose the pack there. Medic in 7th place here. We have Red Lightspeed just in behind in a 2nd position, starting to lose touch with that Ford GT race car here a little bit. I'm not too surprised. That car I knew was going to be very tough to keep up with here in the GT3 class today. We've got Miss Devious and Sheriff here in 3rd and 4th place here. They're trying to close up that gap to Medic and Red Lightspeed here, and they're just kind of at the exact same speed here right now. I think Sheriff is trying to transition in front of Miss Devious so they can keep pushing, but I just don't think he had the run to get around. And we got Ismail here in 5th place. Ismail is in the same position here too. Where is Ismail? Ismail and the BMW, unfortunately, is just at the mercy of the rest of the GT3 cars here too. 13 seconds in behind this Devious there. Was working with Tom there. Potentially was going to have that partner back when he came on pit lane, but unfortunately for Ismail, Tom disconnected there. So again, I'm not sure what caused the cars to separate. We'll do that at the end of the race and see what happened, but if it was a missed caution flag call on my part, that's not very good on my part, and it's just something that needs to be reviewed. If we make mistakes in race control booth as well, we'd like to make sure that we also learn from it as well, so we can continue things better. Oval track racing, middle of the championship during street circuit racing and a multi-class championship is a little bit different. Most certainly a little bit different. However, this community is unfamiliar with oval track racing. We've done quite a few oval events in the past, so it's not that we're unfamiliar with it. It's just a different type of car this time that we're using, having that GT3s in the mix as well. So the interesting thing is that these three are closing in on the front three here as well. The gap was 8, now it's 6.7. So I think we got an interesting race in our hands here still in the LMPH. As we get the just over 30-minute mark in this race here, you can see already a pit stop being made by our GT3 class leader there, Red Lightspeed. Jolly Rancher is now leading this race for LMPH. He's got Reset just tucked in behind him, just closing in on Medic here right now. Got Egon just a little bit in behind these two here by a half a second now down in 3rd place. And then we've got JP, TDC, and Dylan. Still nose to tail here. And I mean, the hardest working driver right now in this LMPH field has most certainly been Dylan and TDC Gaming here so far. Probably more so Dylan, as he's been just pushing everybody back up to the front of the pack here. So there is very good potential for this to be a 6-way battle for the race win here by the end of this race. If this trend continues from these three back here, I mean, this is just spectacular slipstream bump drafting work for these three to continue to try and push back up to the fight for podium. Medic is very clear in the lead here currently. Right now with a pit stop being made by Red Lightspeed there just a little while ago. It's got given him a 15-second gap over now. Sheriff Doofy here in 8th place, and he's just in behind here in 9th. We're starting to see those GT3s separate a little bit, so that's interesting. I thought that the GT3s would probably be able to stay tighter together for the larger part of the race, but I could be mistaken. So we're at 42 laps already here for our LMPH drivers, and we just hit the 30-minute mark. I thought we were already at it, but we just hit it now. So we're going to see about an 83-84 lap race here tonight from the drivers. So that's a lot of points up on the board available here. And we didn't see the incident that caused Dylan in 6th place there. Unfortunately, Dylan, because he was the only car that got basically out of that. A caution wasn't called there, so that was definitely a lag. There there was definitely a lag spike right at that moment too, from what it looked like to me, but I could be wrong. We got Sheriff coming in pit lane here as well for our GT3s. Ismail is currently running in third position here in GT3s now. It's going to be interesting to see if the GT3 drivers are going to try and use some strategy here, or ooh, that was a bail there by TDC. I'm not sure what happened there, but I think maybe TDC was thinking about going to pit lane there. I don't know what happened, but TDC had to do a hard bail down on the apron there, not to get into the GT3 car, and that would have been a doozy of a hit there. That definitely brought on the caution flag. That would have been a hard hit. So we do have some pit stops happening here. We're going to see at least a pit stop, it looks like, before the end of this race yet. So Dylan is coming up just in front of Egon there. So just as Egon was potentially about to lap Dylan gets around the corner as Egon comes in pit lane, and you can see how quick the laps are here for our LMPH cars, that you can almost lap the driver under a pit stop. Yeah, TDC I think wanted to pit last time around. There was he just maybe missed his entry, or I don't know what happened there, but he definitely had to hard bail out of whatever he had going on there to avoid that GT3 car. And we got, are we going to see Jolly Rancher and J-Set come in? No, they are going to stay out for another lap here. And I think this is a case of when one pits, the other is most likely going to pit in behind. JP is just coming out here now as well. And Dylan actually grabs position here, obviously, because Cat wasn't able to get into pit lane the first time around when he wanted to. Just get out of that pit engine. Get out. Ooh, he might get a penalty there. Nope. They let him go. Alright, so Medic is coming out of pit lane here. We've seen Ride to Lightspeed go in a few laps earlier than Medic and the drivers in behind, so let's see if that pays dividend for him here. No, Medic does come back out in front of Ride Light here. It's by about 8.5 seconds here currently. And then it is Sheriff Doofy here in third place for GT3. That puts Miss Devious in fourth position here for GT3s. Ishmael is in pit lane right now, and Fast Junior here in 12th position as well. So right now, currently the battle's between Jay, Set, and Jolly Rancher, but we gotta let this pit stop sequence kind of sort itself out. We got another pit stop being made here by TDC Gaming, and he's on the wrong tire. That was a costly mistake. I'm not even sure how those were even able to be selected, to be honest. Woo! Reactionary moment there between Jolly Rancher and J-Set as they were just lapping TDC there, so I'm not sure why would even get an option to pick the entire Interesting. Alright, so Dylan's found himself now up into fourth position. JP is tucked in behind here still, and that is great for these two guys as they continue to try and push up to that front pack in ahead. Unfortunately for TDC, that extra pit stop has put him essentially a lap down. JP and Dylan just heading around our GT3 leader here right now, Medic. And I know Medic is 8.2 seconds clear in the lead here right now, so looking good for Medic here. We got Ride Lightspeed, 6.7 seconds to the good in second place over third place driver Sheriff here right now, and he's got 8.9 seconds to 10 tenths Misdevious in behind. It is very hard to gain time when you are by yourself in a very similar car here at Daytona Tri Oval. You need a buddy. You need that drive partner here, and as we start to see the cars fall off each other's bumpers in a sense, we're starting to see why that draft is so important here at Daytona. Now, again, there's potentially some contact that has caused a couple of these drivers to fall off the pack and lose that draft. That's entirely possibly what could have happened, but again, we do have an instant reporting system post-race for those types of things. So drivers just submit their footage and give us a statement about what happened, and then we send that off to our stewards and assess said situation. Alright, so we got JA Set and Jolly Rancher here as they come around. I believe that was Mr. Devious there. At the start finish line, we got Egon here still in third place, and he's lost those front two. He's lost the slipstream, so he's now at the mercy of Dylan and JP chasing here in fourth and fifth place, because they are using that slipstream technique to continue to track up the road here. And they are doing a very, very good job of it here as well. As you can see, 2.3 seconds, and closing in here is Dylan and JP. So down and out early on in the race, but not out of this race. TDC Gaming here, he's got 36 seconds, and he's in a tough spot here right now. Just in behind the race leaders that have just lapped him, unfortunately. We've got Medic here in seventh position overall in the race, first place in the GT3 class, and continues to open up the gap to Ride Light Speed here. Too surprised to see that Ford GT being so strong here. Ride Light Speed currently sitting in second place. We got Sheriff Goofy holding down that final podium position here so far in the GT3 class. We've got Ten Tenths Devious in fourth place. We've got Ishmael in fifth, Fast Ginger in sixth, and Streeter Tom disconnecting a few laps ago there. Still does get points for all those completed laps, so it's not all a wash for the racers, at least too, with this point system, because he still had a solid 30 plus laps in the books here at double points. Keeping in mind, it was double points night here as well, so at least he's still salvaging a good cluster of points in this race here today. Alright, so like I said, we're going to see basically all these LMPH cars playing pretty nice with each other here, I think, right up until about the last two corners, and then it's going to be interesting. We'll put it that way. Alright, so TDC has caught up to the race leaders, so now he's in a tricky spot here. He's got to get past the race leaders, get back in front of Jolly Rancher, get back on the lead up with these guys, and then somehow try to find his way all the way back around the racetrack and get back up and behind these two again to try and battle for the race lead. And he's having a really hard time getting the position on the race leaders here right now. J-Set just continues to stay glued to Cobra's rear bumper, not allowing TDC really to get a passing line underneath him. Oh, and Dylan and JP close in on Egon here, and Egon immediately comes down the racetrack there to grab a piece of that train, and position change there. Dylan now up into that final podium position here in LMPH, and spun out very early in the race, and using a lot of bump drafting and doing a lot of pushing here with fellow LMPH competitors on the racetrack, and is now finding himself back on the podium position. And with that being said, they're only 5.6 seconds off of J-Set and Jolly Rancher in first and second place. So again, this race is far, far from over here. And we got Fast Ginger and Ismail here now hooked up nose to tail there as well in the GT3 class, which is fantastic for them. So we got JP here in fourth position here, just in behind Dylan and Egon, just a little bit off the back of these guys, but still in that slipstream. Alright, so TDC is doing everything he can here. He's just trying to get that car ahead of our race leader here. He's trying to get that lead lap back from Cobra and Jay, and currently he has it. Currently he has gotten back on the lead lap here from the race leaders, but he is just at the mercy of bump drafting here right now, and no matter how hard he continues to try to get free from J-Set and Dark Cobra, they just remain to stick. Ooh, there we go, there we go. Big spin there from Cobra as he comes down the track, and that is going to make things very interesting. JP's now going to move up into third. We got Egon there in fourth. We got Cobra now in fifth place, and he's lost a draft, so that is not ideal there. And oof, he's going to be a little hot under the collar, I'm sure, there as they sort that one out. But again, that'll be, I'm sure that'll be the driver and determine whether or not they need to file a report there, but the blue flag cars are allowed to pass and get their laps back. So I mean, that's just cars slipstreaming and battling there, and a little bit of potential contact made there. I don't even remember now. We could have looked at it, I guess. But J-Set now solely in the lead of the race here. Dylan now up into second place here, and J-Set needs to make a pretty hard decision here. Does he let Cat just get in front so he can push and continue to track up the road, or is he going to try and get ahead of Cat, let Cat push, and try to continue to lose his pack of 3 that is now closing in on him here, because losing Jolly Rancher, losing his bump trapping partner there, has most certainly put him at the mercy of that 3-car pack, and how quickly things can change in these races here, these oval track races. That all it takes is just the slightest of touch, and that's exactly what we saw there. I think it was just a small touch on the rear wheel of Cobra there, and that just put him into that spin down the track and up into the wall there. But damage is on lights, so the damage has gone away. We got these 3 cars coming for J-Set here, who's only now 2.6 seconds up the road. So this is some tough decision making here for our current race leader, and he is got some cars hot on his heels here. We got Cobra 7.6 seconds in TDC here now, 32.6 seconds in behind. Currently still technically on that lead lap, because he is just ahead of J-Set there. Medic is leading the way here. He's got a nice healthy gap now in GT3 class. He is kind of running away with this thing here. We've got Ride Lightspeed here in 8th position and looking to make a blue flag pass here on Miss Devious, but she gets a massive boost from her teammate in the LMPH there, and that is going to take care of that blue flag situation right there. We got Sheriff here in 9th position. Mischievous maybe potentially had just made a pit stop there and did not check on the tires. Ismail looked like he made a pit stop just a little earlier, and that is the case. There's been some damage to that GT3 car from that push from her teammate there. And oof, things are getting spicy here around Fast Injury Ismail right now, as all these LMPH cars are buzzing by these GT3 cars here at 210 to 12 miles per hour here currently on the hard tires, so it's getting a little dicey here. And we're going to be seeing a final round of pit stops, it looks like, here from our racers as well. So Jay's still in the lead, but Dylan is coming 1.7 seconds with JP in tow, and Egon just in behind, 3/10 in behind as well. So that 3-car train is starting to close that gap up on the race leader. Got Jolly Rancher here in 5th position. Just see him getting around Sheriff there. We got TDC here in 6th place, and they're being pushed by the race leader here right now because, I mean, in all honesty, he doesn't have a whole lot of choice as he's got that push pack in behind him trying to close him down. So 1.5 seconds and closing is that gap. So, oh boy. Things are about to get interesting here, and I guess the bigger question is when do these guys pit now? Jay lost his slipstreaming partner with Jolly Rancher, so he's kind of at the mercy of that 3-car pack here right now, and what looked to be him and Jolly Rancher kind of running away with this race has now turned into him trying to figure out how he's going to keep those 3 cars from getting around him at this point. See, all 5 of these LMPH cars are about to close back up together here. I mean, there's just no fighting the fact that that 3-car pack is going to close in on the race leaders here. And here we go. It is, friendships may very well be over here for a minute while these guys all sort out these 5 positions on the racetrack here. But is anybody going to pit? No, nobody's going to pit. We're going to see everybody go up the inside of the GT3 car here, and everybody gets through. Alright, things are getting very, very interesting here. But JP is absolutely tucked in underneath Dylan here at this point. JP can sense that J-Set is just up ahead here as well. And some great these two as they continue to push up. Egon's just sitting in the back toe there right now, just 2/10 of a second off in behind these two as well. So looking to also take advantage of the gain momentum from the 3-car train. And there we go. JSet has decided, well, this is not working. Sorry, but I'm going to try and put you a lap down, Cat. And Cat's going to be like, no, we're not going to play like that. We are going to fight to hold our lap. And here we go. Game on. Alright, so we got a lap car. We've got battling cars. Dylan's like, hey, get out of my way. Alright, Dylan now takes the race lead away. So, wow, there we go. Dylan getting spun out early on in the race. It was like lap 12 or 6 or 12 or something like that. Falls all the way to the back of the LMPH field. Now currently in the race lead. And he's going to jump into pit lane. Egon stays out. JSet follows him. JP also. What is JP going to do here? Oh, what happened to JP? JP is going to stay out. Jolly Rancher is going to come in, and what is TDC going to do? He may stay out for a lap or two here yet. Alright, let's go see what's happening with our GT3s here. Very quiet in the GT3 field here tonight. This was really the class I expected to stay really tight for the whole race, but it turned out to be the other way around here. It is Medic in the lead. He's pretty much running away with the GT3 field here tonight. Ryan Lightspeed in second place has a nice healthy gap over Ismail now in third place, who's got 7.6 seconds over Sheriff Doofy, who is in fourth place. Mysterious is in fifth place, and we got Fast Ginger here in sixth position. So Egon now making his pit stop. JP has still continuing to go around a little bit longer here, so very interesting. Jay and Dylan. JSet has jumped Dylan in pit lane here. And these will be our race leaders, I suspect, as the pit stop sequence officially filters through our LMPH class here. So let's see here. JP is still in the lead of the race with a 16.5 second gap over Egon. Egon comes out 7 seconds ahead of Dylan and Jay. And that puts TDC just 7 seconds in behind Dylan and JSet here, and then Jolly Rancher 10 seconds in behind them. So I suspect we're going to see a few pit stops still happening. We got our GT3 class starting to make some pit stops here as well. We did see some earlier pit stops from some of the class drivers here, using a little bit of strategy perhaps to try and gain some track position back in the Tri Oval here tonight. And the glimmer that just comes off of JP's car there, he's in pit lane. That was quite the glimmer that came out of JP's car there. Of course, Races Animals livery guru there. He is the man behind all the paint on the Races Animals cars that we see throughout the racing leagues and series and championships all over Gran Turismo 7. But it is Egon now with 3.7 second lead over Dylan. Dylan has about 0.3 of a second over JSet, who is trailing. JP comes out in behind those guys, 12.3 seconds and 6.7 seconds ahead of Jolly Rancher. And TDC is going to be coming out where in comparison to our race leader. Oh, just getting put back a lap down there as Egon just zips underneath of him there through NASCAR 1 and 2. So Medic has a 23-second gap to ride Lightspeed there still, who has 5.2 seconds over Ismail. So Ismail has closed some time up. We got Sheriff here in fourth place. He's got 7 seconds. Mysterious is 18 seconds in behind Sheriff. And Fast Ginger is a lap or two down. They're having a issue with the car. Getting it looked at. Got it back out. Continuing along his way here. But it is Egon 2.7 seconds up the road. We've got Dylan here in second place, trying to close him down here. Now he does have JSet working with him here as well, so that timer is coming down. It's about 2.5 seconds and slowly closing here. And that's unfortunate there for JP and the rest of the LMPH in behind here now. Unless something drastic happens at this point now, we could potentially be looking at our finishing positions here on the racetrack. Alright, I wasn't sure what to expect with this oval race here this week, but it was a doozy. It was very interesting. Not quite what I expected, or what I thought I was going to see here tonight, but a great race nonetheless, and really great race by the LMPH cars here tonight. So the track very well suited for the LMPH cars. Obviously, here's a very high-speed oval. These cars like to go very fast, so the LMPH cars are clearly loving Daytona here. The GT3 cars are the GT3 cars. I mean, they can only go as fast as they can go. So, and for Medic, he just happened to be in the right car for the right track for this particular race. And again, the last points in the GT3 standings here currently at second last place. Sorry, with the entry of Tom last week. That's going to be a good boost in points for him there and help boost him up the standings. So we got a three-way battle for the race lead here in the LMPH. And we got TDC Gaming in the mix trying to get his lap back while all this is going on. And I believe that's Miss Devious up ahead now as we got a four-way battle for the race lead here. Woo, that got a little spicy, but everybody made it through. We see cars split in different directions. They're choosing their line to go around that GT3 car. Egon went a little bit wide there and got almost up into the wall there. It was very, very close. And TDC Gaming, they're just losing track of those top three a little bit here. So definitely battle on for the podium here as we still have about 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this race here tonight. Anybody's game between these three here. Woo. JB 18 seconds behind. Jolly Rancher is trying to close here. 6 seconds TDC. And oh, we do have a pick coming from Ismail here. Going to need some fuel, so be interested to see if he can hold that third place position at the pit stop. But we are definitely going to be keeping our eye on the LMPH race here at this point, as we have Ismail just coming out of pit lane there right now. Does he hold? No, he does not. Sheriff does get around there. It's going to be 12 seconds to the good for Sheriff. So a very interesting race. I'm sure that the feedback from the racers is going to be informative. That's the word I was looking for. After this race, so these are tough racing conditions. I mean, like I said, you look at this going, oh, this would be an easy race. It's not easy. It is not that easy. Trying to stay tucked in behind another car for lap after lap after lap at 220 miles an hour with the banking in the corner and a little bit of side-to-side lag coming from some of these cars here at times. Just the slightest little touch can completely interrupt your momentum, or worse, spin you like we've seen here a couple times tonight already. And I mean, this battle for the race lead here, for the race win for the LMPH here is going to take us right down to the wire here without a question of a doubt. So do they all survive the battle to the start-finish line, or do they all wreck each other and the guys in behind chasing get the race win? That would be something else. But you can see Ride the Light Speed just getting navigated around by the race leaders. There are second place GT3 driver currently here. Alright, so it's going to shake the standings up quite a bit here tonight with how this race is progressing. J-Set now has taken the lead back over from Dylan with a good hearty push from Egon, who's also going to take advantage of that push and move himself up into P2. But then he decided instead of pushing, he was going to try and take the race lead away from Jay, but he didn't quite hold a straight, steady line there and ran up the racetrack, and that allowed Dylan to get back underneath him and take second place. And then Dylan was able to use a slip shot right there from Jay to go ahead and take the race lead back. So on lap 76 here is now Dylan in the race lead with J-Set in second place and Egon here in third place. And like I said, we are far, far from over with this three-way battle here. Ooh, pardon me. For the race win here in LMPH tonight. J-Set now taking the race lead back, and this is just a set of leapfrog right now between these three drivers. Who gets the run, gets the move done, and then you got to try and hold that to the checkered flag. So it's all about timing this move here now. As we're coming down to 4 minutes to go, we're going to see about 5 more laps of our LMPH cars here. And as we're still continuing to navigate GT3 cars while this battle ensues here as well. So we are definitely going to stay on board with this 3-way battle for the overall LMPH win and race win here today. And Dylan choosing not to try and make the pass there. And again, now this is where the strategy starts to come into play. The drivers, the brains are working overtime right now, deciding when is the right time. When do I do it? Where do I do it? How do I defend the guy in behind me who's thinking the same thing I'm thinking right now? And then as Jay is the race leader, he's going, man, how am I going to defend these two charging me here in the final couple corners of the race as well? So it is getting very intense in the cockpits of these LMPH cars here. We're just coming up to our first place GT3 car here right now, and he is definitely just going to allow these guys this full send on around there. And Egon is going to look for the big run down the hill there. You see he really stuck it up on the high line and then really came hard down the banking there to try and close that distance up to the second place LMPH and Dylan there, while Dylan is just tucked in underneath J-Set. And we have 2.5 minutes remaining here. We're going to see 2 more laps, including the lap we're on. And Egon has lost touch a little bit here with J-Set and Dylan, so this has potentially become a 2-way battle for the race win here, and it could just be the first race of the season that we don't see Dylan standing on the top of the podium. I mean, oval track racing, anything is possible here, but he's working on a plan here. He's waiting to try and set J-Set up for this race win here. It is a matter of when and where, and we got 2 minutes to go as we cross the line. It is going to be 2, maybe even 3 laps to go here still. Dylan is going to make the job. He's going to take the run up the inside there into NASCAR 1 and 2 and going to take the race lead back. And oh, Egon is out of fuel. Egon has to stop for fuel, and JP has an opportunity here to potentially take 3rd place. And I was trying to figure out how Egon fell off the pace of Dylan and J-Set there. He did not have enough fuel on board. He did not take enough fuel in that final pit stop, and that could potentially cost him his podium finish here today. JP does manage to move up into P3, and Egon is about 2 seconds in behind, so that is a absolute gift to JP right there from Egon. He's short fueling himself a little bit there by a couple of laps and taking himself out of the potential race win there. Oh, you hate to see it, but man, oh man, it is so hard to come up with those numbers in your head on the fly in a situation like this. And side by side here is J-Set and Dylan. Jay cannot get the job done. He's going to settle back in here. And as we come around 3 and 4, it is going to be 1 to go this time around here for our LMPH class leaders. Where's Mac? It could be close to being a race finisher for GT3 as well. Alright, so can Jay make it happen? We are heading through NASCAR 1 and 2 right now. Jay is tucked in real tight, and it's all about deciding now when to make the move. And it is extremely difficult to make a pass on the outside of this Daytona Oval. So Jay is in tough, and Medic is actually going to get another lap around here. So ooh, and here we go, final lap. Jay's going to pull it out. Can he get it done? Side by side as we come to the checkered flag. It's going to be Dylan for the race win. J-Set's going to finish smidgen in behind 3/100ths of a second. JP is going to get a gift handed to him here with a 3rd place finish with that pit stop from Egon running short on fuel. And, oh, you hate to see it, but going to be a 3rd place finish here for JP due to that mistake from Egon. And that's why you just keep pushing forward, because it is not over until you get that checkered flag waving. Egon's going to fall just short here today. 4th place, Jolly Rancher will finish in 5th, and TDC will finish in 6th place here. And our GT3 leader coming across for his first race win of the season here in Daytona in that Ford GT race car ride. Lightspeed will take 2nd place for our GT3 class. And it will be Sheriff to take third position here for our GT3 class. Mischievous will finish in 4th place. It will be Ismail in 5th place. It will be Fast Ginger in 6th position. And it will be Streeter Tom in 7th position. He will get lap points for the amount of laps that he did complete. Race officials will, of course, go and take a look at how many laps completed at the point of disconnect from that driver to calculate their points as well. So congratulations to all the drivers. That was not an easy race. Congratulations to Dylan. He was spun out with an incident early in the race. Used a lot of pushing and a lot of slipstreaming and bump drafting with all his other LMPH class drivers, and managed to find himself a win by 0.036 seconds at the checkered flag. So I did suspect we'd see a battle right down to the checkered flag, but I suspected we'd see it out of both of our classes here today. Unfortunately, we only seen it out of the LMPH class. We had a tough couple of attempted race starts here with the standing grid. Of course, always Mischievous, thank you for being here, racers. Appreciate you. And so we moved out to a rolling start. So, I mean, it's not perfect. We make mistakes here, too. Today was another tough round. It was the first round of what I like to call a chink in the armor as far as the organization of the series and the staff goes. We had a couple of minor blips in the matrix here tonight. And a couple of really unfortunate incidents on the racetrack that I'm definitely going to have to go take a look at post-race to see what separated our drivers and what happened there, and did I miss making a caution flag call when I should have made a caution flag call there. So there's definitely a lot to look over. The drivers will have 24 hours from the end of the race here tonight to file any incident reports if they feel necessary. So at 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, we will no longer accept said incident reports if there is any. From there, our stewarding staff will take a look, make an assessment, and we will issue that decision based on the stewards. If the driver disagrees, they do have a appeal period to where they can supply different supporting evidence to argue their case, and that goes to an outside stewarding officials to be looked at in any case of an appeal. It goes outside of our GT45 Gaming internal staff and goes to an external stewarding staff that is extremely good at what they do, and their say is final, whatever it is that they decide. So they can overrule our decisions here within our own stewarding staff if they feel that we made a wrong call. So we try to do the best we can to cover all of our bases here. It was a great race. Oval track racing. It was an easy race in a sense because you didn't have to worry about 9 million corners, different tire strategies, and all that thing. All you had to do was just kind of try to just keep the car in one piece on the racetrack in the right spot at the right time and make those good decisions. And the trick is holding a steady line around this racetrack for an hour at 220 miles an hour for our LMPH guys while bump drafting and navigating GT3 traffic. It in reality really was not that easy of a race for our racers, so congratulations to each and every one of them. I know it's tough losing the pack and getting separated and just kind of being stuck out there on your own, but anything can happen, and we've seen that in the LMPH. Egon had third place wrapped up and just fell 2 laps short on fuel there, and ended up falling just short of the podium due to it. So anything can happen in these races, and that's multi-class racing. So congratulations again to Dylan, JSET, and JP in our LMPH for their podium finishes, and congratulations to Medic, Ride Lightspeed, and Sheriff Doofy for their podium finishes in our GT3 class. The bonus points stay as per normal. It will be 1 bonus point for pole position, 1 bonus point for fastest lap for each class, and 3 bonus points for first place, 2 bonus points for second place, and a 1 bonus point for third place finish for overall podium on top of their completed laps times 2 this week. So we will take the 84, I think it was, laps from the LMPH cars and times that by 2, and that will be their points total for their laps completed. So when we see our points totals next week, we're going to see a pretty big jump in the points, going from the mid to low 200s up in towards the 500 points mark halfway through our season already. So things are changing, and we're going to see a little bit of a shakeup in the GT3 standings, especially here after this week's racing rounds. So thank you very much for everybody tuning in, and again, I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. presented by Ten Tenths Simracing and the GT45 Gaming sim racing community. We do appreciate all the support to all the viewers. We hope you enjoyed the mid-season event this week. Round 6 will go in 2 weeks' time, as of course next weekend is Easter weekend here in North America, and we will not be racing on Easter Monday next week, so there will be no race here from GT45 Gaming next week, as the drivers will be hopefully and ideally at home with their families enjoying a feast with close loved ones, people they care. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time here for round 6 of the GT45 Gaming Multiclass Championship, and we'll see you all there. Remember, you all matter. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need somebody to talk to. Somebody's always willing to listen. Stay winning, and we'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top,
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me. But they hate from inside, you see, hate themselves in society. So I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen, oh the irony. To hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't never say never. And turn your mind